What is up, you clowns? We're back with the fourth episode of the Story Time segment. And then This Is All That Matters podcast. I'm joined by the one, the only, the real Kingfish. What's up, man? How's it
How you
going?
doing, bud? How are you?
Mixed emotions at the moment. I'm not sure how I feel about my fantasy season, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're talking to a man with considerably less swag this week than previous weeks. I don't think I broke 100, but that's okay. That's what can you say?
Well, my arch nemesis, Ben, um, demolished me,
Yeah,
and it looks
yeah.
like his team is unbeatable.
He scored a lot of points. Um, he's everyone's arch nemesis, which I don't even like to get. You know what? I prefer. We're not supposed to talk about fantasy. This is supposed to be the mind
That's
cleanser.
right.
This is supposed to be
So let's
the
get out
the,
of here.
the
Let's get
midweek
out of
break. Yeah,
this dark
exactly. I agree.
space.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's
So
up, man?
so
We're all excited for the installment this
yeah.
week.
So look, this is fun. It's like kind of hard to come up with. I have so many stories. But we talked a lot about, or we talked at least briefly about taxis and Ubers last week. And
Mhm.
so I was thinking, and also like we've covered a lot of time periods, right? We've covered 12th grade and we've covered college era or whatever, like lots of different times, but we really haven't covered anything recent. So a few weeks ago, so like I was telling you last time, like I always take yellow cabs. And like I there is when I go out, which is I decided a couple of years ago, like when I went out, I'm not taking this stuff away anymore, right? I got like I haven't like it's too late, I'm too tired, whatever. So when I go out drinking, I take a cab. And if I'm in Manhattan, I take a yellow cab. I think whatever, when I'm drunk, I can't get we talked about this in the context of Mark Sanchez killing a guy or whatever.
Right.
Um, so a few months ago, I went out drinking with colleagues. I do a lot of drinking with my colleagues.
Okay.
And uh, yeah, it's just kind of like part of the culture. It's always fun. I was like kind of drunk, not super drunk. I got in a taxi. I hailed a taxi. My dad always says, he's always said, and he knows, he's right about this. You can tell everything you need to know about a taxi by the way it pulls over to pick you up.
How it pulls up. How it pulls up.
Right?
Yes.
Like, and
Yep.
it's true. It's absolutely true. And he said that forever.
Great call.
And yeah, and like I do remember, and I think part of the reason I like taking taxis when I'm drunk is like put the old school hip hop on them. Like I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge. Like it feels very like it could be any time period in New York.
Yeah.
But when we were younger, like you remember this, like a taxi ride could go like any which way,
Oh yeah.
right? Like it could get in an accident. It could like the guy could forget about the phone. Like he'd be sitting on that thing with the beads and like all
With
the
the
you know what I'm
beads.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was like fucking New York in a box.
Yeah.
Like make your own New York kit. It's not really like that anymore. And Uber,
Oh,
but
interesting.
so whatever. So the cab, this cab pulls up. I get in the cab and whatever. The pullover is crazy. And the driver is a woman. And
Oh.
yes, and this is not particularly relevant, but there was a bit of a language issue. She was an Asian woman, which I
Okay.
noticed because I think Uber has a lot more diversity in like terms of drivers than yellow cabs.
Oh,
Wouldn't you say?
interesting.
I
Well, I
do.
would say that's probably correlated to the fact that there's a certain type of people that own medallions, right?
Yeah, exact something, right? It's like New York cab drivers still fit like four or five like general profiles for
Yep.
the most part, right?
Uh-huh.
Uber drivers like just it could be fucking anybody. Um,
Grandma. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So I get in the cab and I tell the woman where I live. And at that time, I was living on Clinton Avenue, and it's a big issue because there are multiple Clinton streets.
oh dear
And so,
God.
like, right? So if you could end up like whatever. So she keeps saying she almost immediately we are having like an argument about where she's taking me. She keeps saying Williamsburg. I think she means the bridge. So I keep saying
Uh,
Manhattan Bridge. I think I keep saying to her Manhattan Bridge, Manhattan Bridge. We are not more than 2 minutes into the ride where she calls me disgusting for the first time. Like she first starts to say it under her breath, but then it like she starts to say it louder and louder. And I'm like, I just want to be clear. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I'm
Like
having fun.
this is fun. Like so she's called me disgusting like two or three times. She keeps saying it under her breath. And I keep trying to tell her to go to the Manhattan Bridge. She keeps saying Williamsburg to me. So we're having this back and forth. And we get on the so I say to her, because I'm fucking crazy, I'm like, because you remember it used to have, at least this cab didn't have it, but do you remember it used to have like the taxi, like the passenger's bill of rights in the back of a taxi?
Oh yeah,
So I just start saying to her, hey, listen, like I know my rights as a as a
it's a
rider. I've been
rider.
reading this fucking thing since I'm 4 years old. Like I'm like, and I know that you have to take me any way I want to, and I'm telling you to take the Manhattan Bridge. And now she's getting really mad. And at a certain point, so then we get on the Manhattan Bridge, and there's a point on the Manhattan Bridge where if you make a right, you're going to go to Clinton. I know this. You're going to go to Brooklyn Heights. You're going to go to Clinton Street. But if you stay straight, you're still right. And so she's in the wrong lane, and I start to get agitated. And I'm like, ma'am, like you need to be on the left lane, whatever. And she turns around and she says, yells at me. She's like, if I can't drive unless you shut the fuck up. She she slams the thing with like the little clasp on it.
Yeah.
She slams it shut. She puts a hat on, like a like a church lady hat, and she turns 10-10 winds. I shit you not, up to full volume.
Well,
And I can hear like clack, 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 clack. Oh, you know how they do the typing in the background?
yeah.
And so
Oh,
and so we still have like 10 more minutes in the cab. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like,
God.
holy shit. And I was like, okay. First, I'm fucking tough, right? So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna leave. I'm not gonna tip this lady.
Right.
No
Okay.
tip for her. No
No
tip for
tip.
her. Fuck her. But
You know what you do? You
second,
should give her like a tip that's like less than $1.
yeah,
Like
I should
round
have
it
thought
up.
of that. But I left first time in my life. I think I didn't tip a cab driver. But I knew when we got to my house. When we got to my house, I was like, you get out of the cab, you put your feet on the ground, and then you gather
Yep.
your shit. I was like, I gotta have all my shit because this lady's gonna drive away
Full off. She is gonna.
before. And sure enough, I got out of the cab, all my shit ready. She drove off, the door wasn't closed yet. Fucking psycho. And so I was thinking about complaining about this to the Taxi and Limousine
Mm,
Commission. My hypothesis is this woman was an Uber driver and got such low
mm.
ratings that she had to switch to something where there are no rankings or ratings. But a few years ago, I was driving behind an Uber that had like a
That's a
lot
good
of
hypothesis. I like that's a good one.
thank you. Um, I also think the whole thing was a misunderstanding, and she was asking me if I lived on the Clinton Avenue in Williamsburg, which I don't. But like,
Mm.
I whatever, there these things they happen, and so I decided not to report her, partially because I reported an Uber driver. I was driving behind an Uber, and it had a lot of homophobic bumper stickers.
Oh,
I'll send you the picture. It was fucked up.
disgusting.
It was really bad. And I took a picture and I sent it to the Taxi and Limousine Commission and to Uber and
Good
to
for you.
Lyft. Thank
Good
you.
for you.
It, and these fuckers, like, they got, did they get back to me? They tried to get me to go to an administrative hearing to like,
What?
I'm not kidding. Like they called me, they were like, look, these
Too
things said, oh,
much.
he's gonna take a thing. But if he doesn't, like, are you prepared to come and testify? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll be there. Like I don't know what to say, but I guess he got some demerits or whatever. But that was government in action. Um,
Government in action,
but
in a
I think
nutshell.
it was an important. It was fun. That's a new thing for me, and also I felt good about like who I am as a person because I really never got mad. Like I really was
Oh,
just
you
laughing
didn't?
the whole
Because
time. I never got mad.
I was going to push back and say, what type of fish energy was it? Was it the
No.
fish energy like when I came back home and found you in my room, like stunk up?
Uh,
Is it that energy, or is it like, is it
would
angry?
you call that
Like
energy? Was that energy?
there was an energy. There was a significant amount of energy for that.
Yeah.
Like because I would say the other thing that the Uber thing solves, there's many things that it breaks, but one of the things that it solves is this dispute about how to get there, where you're going. right? Because
Yes.
that is just, a
Yes.
mechanical thing, right? But that is very much like in the culture of New York City. And my father, this always, all of these stories remind me of my father. My father, I've seen several times get into an argument with a
Yes.
cab driver about which way to
Yes.
take.
Yes. My dad, I think, I mean, I don't know I don't know if he takes Ubers in New York City. I maybe, but like growing up, my constant fighting with cab drivers,
Constantly. So
constant.
my dad is a pompous backseat driver in all things, right? But when he is literally backseat driving, it's like watching Michael Jordan play basketball. He's
Yes.
absolutely an awful human. And like the continued dispute, this dispute every time was back from the airport. The cab driver always wanted to take the Midtown Tunnel. And my
Yeah.
dad always wanted him to take the Triborough. And sometimes this would digress into a significant, spitting match, which is totally uncomfortable.
Wait, what do you mean
Uh,
spitting?
well, not, I guess maybe I have the saying wrong, but just like a tussle, a verbal tussle.
A pissing
Yeah,
contest.
pissing. That's it.
A
That's it.
pissing
There you go.
contest. I was going to say your dad and cab drivers spit on each
Spitting at
other.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, sometimes there are no good answers,
right.
right? And that's part of the
Yeah.
problem is like it's getting back from the airport is just like an inherently terrible activity and everyone's
Hey, you're
cranky.
stressed out. You got back from the flight.
Yes.
It's like not a good,
Yes.
recipe,
I
but
took a flight
still.
back from Singapore. Singapore.
Oh my God.
It's
The
like a
hell are you
2 day
doing in
trip.
Singapore?
It's
Oh,
just
this is job
five or
or what?
6 years ago. Yeah, I got
Okay.
a flight back from Singapore. I got to the airport. I had been away from my family for 10 days. I'd been traveling for like literally 48 hours. And the fucking guy would not drive over the speed limit on Atlantic Avenue.
Oh my
And
goodness.
that was a fight I had with the guy.
That was
That was a tough one.
you
Um,
lost it.
this is another one though. This is why LA. I
Hmm.
don't really recognize LA as like. Are there any things like this in LA?
So I don't know. Like I think you experience more things like this, as you say, like in the culture, right? Like so drinking
Yeah,
late at night is when these types of things happen. I'm not it's
doing that.
seldom. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I can count it on my hand the amount of times I've done such a thing. Um, but LA, is pretty lame for that reason. The one thing I will also mention that I can't stand about Ubers, and I wish there were yellow cabs out here, is you can't change the destination. Have you ever been in a scenario where maybe you put the wrong destination in or your plans change or whatever? In an Uber, you can't change the destination. From my experience, is that something
I,
that you've?
I no. I mean, I once I was going to a wedding and I went on a Friday night with my cousin and like we stayed out and we were like trying to drop me off at the hotel and then for him to go to his house and it got all fucked up. And I remember we're like in the middle of nowhere, like in the country. And he was like, it's fine. I'll just get out of the car and call the Uber. It'll be this Uber. And it wasn't.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
It,
so I was just in town for a funeral,
mm,
and I'm, we Uber. Me and my parents Uber out there to Jersey. We're here. It's great. We're gonna take my great aunt, who is 93 years old. Okay,
hmm
we're gonna take her back to New York City in our cab. And it's amazing. She's 93 years old, but she's walking around like telling jokes, calling people fat and shit like that. It's great.
Sounds great.
So we get in this Uber, and I thought I put in her address, a completely incorrect address. So we're in the Uber. I'm trying to do a work call, and I'm trying to change our
Mm.
destination, which I figure out you cannot do. And this guy makes me drive, like we go to this random. Also, he won't stop. He
Yeah,
won't
they won't
stop
stop. It's a huge problem.
before.
It,
Yeah, no
it's
destination.
like
He won't just like let us out. You
it's
know.
not a bus, dude. Let me out of this thing.
Yeah, let me off.
Yeah.
So I had to. He forced me to drop my 93-year-old great aunt in the middle of New York City. My dad had to take her home. It was awful, and it really, like, I was like, damn, this is a huge problem. This is broken. This is broken, and I'd like it
When
to be
my
fixed.
great
Can we bring
my
litigation? Is this something we can like?
I
Can
don't know.
we sue them?
Sounds like a class action. Look at you using litigation.
Yeah, that was good,
You
right?
did
That was a
it.
big one.
You
How
did
many
it. Good job.
syllables in that? It was a lot of syllables.
My great aunt was in her 90s. She
Mhm.
was going to have a significant heart surgery. It was not at all clear that she was going to
Whoa.
make it. She was, this is years
Some
ago.
people pass on that type of thing, right?
Yeah, it was like the kind of thing where she either was going to have it or like her life was just like it was basically like this was going to be it. But she was otherwise sort of healthy. She was a very active person. Her husband died when she was about 50, and I maintain that being young and independent like sort of propelled her through the rest of her life.
Mm.
Anyway, great woman, a real character.
Shout out to
I went to
her.
visit her. Shout to her. I went to visit her. We were watching the local news. The
Mm.
story was that Bill de Blasio was leading in the polls to be mayor. And she said to me, you don't really think this guy's going to be the mayor, do you? And I said, absolutely, positively not. And that was the last thing I ever said to her.
Oh no. And you guys were wrong. But
And
she
I
was
was
right about
wrong.
him being terrible.
She was right.
She was
She was
correct.
right. And if she were alive, she would mention this regularly.
Yeah, shout it out. What
What are you
what
like? What are you like at funerals?
what am I like at funerals? I'm quiet. This
Yeah.
one in particular it was one of those funerals where it wasn't a tragedy, it was like
Hmm.
somebody in their late 80s, or early 90s, I forget, and in a significant amount of discomfort. These things tend to be more of a celebration than a traditional funeral,
Hmm.
So in this one I was,
Is that sorry? Is that your way of telling us that it was the black side of your family?
oh, very good. Very good. Very good. What did I say that led you to believe that? How
I
did I
mean,
do that?
just the use of the word celebration, like, is almost
Oh,
like that was the giveaway.
like the other type of like the other type of birthday song, like that type of thing, is just giving you that vibe. Like,
I mean,
uh,
there are
yeah,
not a
no,
lot of celebrations in my culture, even ones we call celebration, but I just the vibe. I thought the vibe was pretty clear.
yeah, the vibe. Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
hit the nail
Yeah.
on the head, as they say. No spitting match here. Yeah, no, yeah. I think how am I at funerals? I'm very I like to give big hugs,
Hmm.
but I'm not a
Yeah.
crier. I don't,
Right.
depending on the
Yeah.
scenario, I'm not really crying. There was one funeral though it was pretty unexpected. My wife's uncle.
Hmm.
Um, he just like died overnight, you know?
Hmm.
And it was one of those things where he lived in LA and I had hoped to like establish more of a relationship with him because
Sure.
we got along really well. Rob Kaufman, shout out to him.
Okay. Shout to him.
But at the funeral, I really lost it. I
Yeah.
cried heavily. That, but
I think I'm not serious enough at funerals.
a little too
I,
much playtime, playful, a little
it
too playful.
it takes me time to register like that a person is gone, and I there are
Mhm.
definitely times I can look back on where I'm like, I think I was a little too jovial at that funeral, and I
Yeah.
wonder if people noticed.
Well, you hope not, because it's
I hope
quite the
not.
detriment to your character, I
I
think, if
agree. I
people
agree.
look at you in a
They're like,
sad
this
way.
guy doesn't care that
Yeah.
someone is dead.
So, this
Yeah,
guy's making a
it's a
mockery of death.
it's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Yeah, I don't feel like I. It comes later usually. I would say.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It does come at strange times, you know?
Yeah. Should we
Um,
talk about the Knicks for a couple of minutes?
I was gonna say Merry
Is
Christmas
that
to you
okay? Yeah.
on this wonderful day. What do we think?
Yeah.
You know what's the good time for?
Hmm.
This is a good time for season predictions.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
think we can both give a brief summary of where we think the Knicks will land this year.
Yeah. I think that,
I'll defer to you.
go ahead. You want to go first?
No, I defer to you.
I think that the Knicks will have um, the type of postseason that we're hoping for, which I would characterize as, I would say a success would be any type of serious appearance in the finals, like the
Mm,
conference finals, even.
yeah.
A 6 game conference finals series, even if they lose it, is a totally successful season. But I will predict that that there will be times like their win loss record will not, like, it will not surprise me at all if they're the 3 seed.
Right.
Does that make
Right.
sense? Like, I think that
Which
they
would be
will.
fine. That would be fine.
Exactly. Yes.
I think like teams that are loading up for a long run, you really got to see what it's like at the end of the year, see what the momentum
Exactly.
is, that kind of
Exactly.
thing. You want to, the road thing doesn't seem to bother them as a group. So, in many ways, what's been strange of late is like Nick teams play better on the road, which I will give
Right.
you, which would be fine. So
Yeah.
for me, there's really two things because as a self-hating Nick fan, what I want to predict is the Knicks get into the first round with the Celtics, and the Celtics pay them back
Ah,
without Jason Tatum.
no, no,
And
no,
that,
no,
like,
no,
see,
no,
like as a self-hating
no.
Nick, like I wonder, like if that happens or not.
This is like why
Um,
you this is why you have to hate Bill Simmons. Because there's
right.
a fear that you're living with. Like
Yeah.
these people are
Perpetual.
inside your yeah, like you're like forced to take him too seriously
Right. So I,
because
I
of
hope this doesn't happen. But the optimistic side of me says like this is it for like it's finals or bust. And I think Jalen cements his legacy alongside Eli Manning and Derek Jeter as the some of the greatest New York athletes of all time. I think he'll end up top five. I think this is it for him. We
I
win the
mean,
chip this year.
leading the Knicks to a championship catapults you to into
It's Jeterdom. It's
just the
Jeter realm. It's Jeter stuff.
it's yeah, whatever the top five is, you're in.
Yeah.
Um, I think without a
Right.
doubt. But yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if a team like I don't know, a team like the Hawks or something is, has a great regular season. But, I think this is a team that's thinking about the playoffs. I think they'll be very good. But, they have a lot to figure out. They're going to play a lot of guys. They're not going to play guys while they're injured. It looks like they're not even going
Yeah.
to, I
This is
mean,
the
so,
first season with the real continuity type of thing. Like,
hmm
like, okay, core guys are back for the second year. Like, there's a bit of autopilot, I think, like in the trajectory of teams. Like, I hear what you're saying about the third seed, but really what you would guess is like this is the season for the Knicks to be the one seed because
could be.
they're just
Yeah.
going to be rolling and, they have a little bit more depth. And you
I
think
mean,
like maybe this is the year, but
I think that a huge part that the one thing that gives me a lot of pause is if this turns into like Giannis watch, it'll have
no,
a very negative effect. And that 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 worries me a lot.
I think it was fine to let that go because you can't give up. You have to give up core pieces. I think you just leave it. Like sometimes you overthink this type of thing. Just leave
Yeah.
it. It's fine.
No, but
Just
the
leave it
media is
alone.
gonna it's like the media and the fans will do it. Like if
Yeah,
they're
but that's only if they're losing. That's only if they're
true.
losing. If they're
I think
winning, nobody's gonna say shit.
I want to see Bridges be good.
So
I know
that would
you
be
hate
the other
him.
thing of note would be like, okay, like watching the difference between the offseason this year and last year. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna make the All Star. He's never made the All Star team. Like you got to think he's gonna make the All Star team this year. This is the year
Uh
for that.
I spent a lot of last night talking shit about Alperen Şengün, like
Mm.
texting
Oh,
people
I
saying
hate
that
that piece of shit.
he's not a poor man. This is what I said last night. I put it in writing. He's not a poor man's Jokic. He's a rich man's George Niang. And damn, did I get shut up, huh?
Oh,
He
he's
had a
good.
game. He
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's one of these guys that I really like. It's not enjoyable. I don't care if it's good.
I
I
agree.
don't care about it. I
I
get it
agree.
away from me. I don't want to
I
watch it.
agree.
I don't
I
care.
agree. I think Mike
Like,
Sweeteney's dead, but if he wasn't, are we sure he
right,
couldn't play in the league now?
right. That's I think that this opinion is like the black side of my family as well. I think this is
Oh, oh, we'll
yeah,
end with a compliment. Thank
yeah.
you.
Shout out. Shout out to you. Shout out
Yeah,
to all of you fuckers except for Ben. Fuck you, Ben. Have a good day, everybody.
I hear that.
Talk
Love
to
you,
you
bud.
later.
All
Bye
right, see
bye.
ya.